Yo, we got another video. This video, we're gonna be going over Clippers versus Nuggets. Um, a lot of people forget these two teams did play in the bubble. The Nuggets obviously won that series, but two completely different teams, or for the most part, Obviously, the Nuggets, Jamal Murray, MPJ, Jokic. Clippers still only got Kawhi, I think. Crazy, but these two teams did play each other in the bubble. They do have a little bit of playoff history. Not much though. Not much you can go off of. At least Kawhi is pretty much a completely different player. But a lot of people think this series is gonna be exciting. But everybody I see talk about this series is picking the Clippers. Now, at first, like very first when I figured out this series was happening, Sunday right after the Clippers Warriors game, I said Nuggets, right? Just because I'm like the Nuggets have the best player in the world. Um, what can the Clippers do to stop that? Now, obviously, Zubac has been playing great defense all season, but we're talking about Jokic. Even though I know Anthony Davis is not great at guarding what Jokic does specifically, Anthony Davis is one of the best defenders in the league, and he gets cooked by Jokic every time. So I'm like, what is Zubac gonna do? Then I thought about offense, right? Um, let me just go to Nuggets starting lineup, right? Or no, my bad. Obviously, most of the season it was actually Westbrook, Murray, Christian Brown, MPJ, Jokic. That's what it was at least like around Christmas time at least. They changed it a little bit. Like they changed the starting lineup a couple times because I'm pretty sure they at some point had the starting lineup with Russ, Jamal Murray, MPJ, Aaron Gordon, Jokic. But what was I about to say? The reason I said I was thinking about offense, right? I was thinking about offense for both teams. Um, but the Nuggets all season have struggled to get production out of anyone except Jokic in important games. There's a reason why every time Jokic has a crazy game, they lose. Because Jokic has to have these crazy games for them to be in the game. Like every time Jokic has a crazy game, it goes down to like the last second, overtime, whatever. It's only like they only lose by like 2 points or whatever. And somehow every time they lose, like it doesn't make any sense. Especially considering Jamal Murray averages 21 points per game. That's how inconsistent Jamal Murray has been this season. Usually, you can rely on Jamal Murray to be a consistent second option to Jokic, but ever since the playoffs of last year, it just hasn't worked that way. Jamal Murray has not looked the same. MPJ definitely hasn't looked the same, even though he's averaging 18 points per game. Those aren't very impactful 18 points per game. In fact, like I'm pretty sure the past couple months he's hasn't been averaging nowhere near that. Probably like 14 to 13 points per game. MPJ has not been the same this season. Aaron Gordon, even though he's shooting better, it's not enough. Christian Braun's playing pretty good, especially. Oh my God, replacing KCP. Still not gonna be enough, probably. Um, then obviously they got Russ off the bench. Now, a couple years back, actually this is only 2 years back. Russ actually played great in the playoffs. Um, Last year he didn't. He had a couple good games, but last year he didn't at all. But you can say that's a Paul George effect. I don't know how he's supposed to get his shot going with a new coach that obviously doesn't like Russ. Um, that's been the thing with Russ his whole career. Can Russ be trusted in the playoffs? Because Russ is too like high maintenance, and if you rely on Russ too much, he's probably going to sell you. He's gonna take dumb shots. He's gonna take a lot of threes. He's gonna play. Wait, he's gonna play hard, obviously, but gonna get a lot of turnovers. He just not a winning player. I don't know. Russ is not a winning player. But to get over to the Clippers, their starting lineup, they actually have Chris Dunn in the starting lineup, which I don't know if I agree with. I feel like it should be Harden, Norman Powell, Derek Jones, Kawhi, then Zubac. But Tyronn Lue's one of the best coaches in the league, so I'll just give him the credit. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to even mention that the Nuggets fired their coach and GM right before the playoffs, like a week before the playoffs. So like, um, or a week and a half, I guess. It'll be a week and a half by tomorrow. But this is what I'll say. Um, yeah, that's just another thing going against the Nuggets. But anyway, Harden. Harden played great this season. He's almost averaged 23 points per game and 9 assists. That's crazy. I didn't think Harden was gonna do this season. First of all, let me just give the Clippers their credit real quick, just because before the season started, I didn't expect them to make the playoffs. I didn't have them in the play. I thought they were gonna be the 11th seed, on the outside looking in, because Kawhi, even though he barely played, he did only play 37 games. I thought that was gonna be enough for the Clippers not to do anything. Obviously, I didn't expect someone like Norman Powell. Wait. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong set. I expect someone like Norman Powell to average 22 points per game, especially after the season he had last year, where he was only averaging 12 points per game. Now, again, the Clippers had a bunch of players last season, so I kind of get why Norman Powell really couldn't get off like how we wanted to. But Norman Powell, 22 points per game, he could have won Most Improved Player if, they just voted that way, but they don't vote that way. Zubac, again, candidate for Most Improved Player because he went up from like 12 points per game to almost 17 points per game, 12 and a half rebounds. It's just crazy. But this is not the video for that. Um, the Clippers. First of all, Jokic is gonna get ate up in the pick roll by Harden and Zubac. I wasn't thinking of that until social media started to bring it up. Um, yeah, Jokic is just gonna get cooked on defense in general, just because they're gonna try to put him in as many places as possible. Um, defensively, the Clippers have defenders to throw at Jamal Murray, who's notorious for struggling against actual good defenders like Jay McDaniels, like Nickeil Alexander Walker. Um, obviously they got Kawhi, but Kawhi probably won't be guarding Jamal Murray unless it's like fourth quarter, 2 minutes left. But obviously Chris Dunn starting for a reason. Derrick Jones Jr. Derrick Jones Jr. can play great defense against Jamal Murray. Um, Hold on, who else do they have? Let me just go to the stats real quick. I know they have one more defender that's like really good, right? Oh, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. Um, Either way, I still do think the Clippers are probably going to win this series now. Now, do I think it would be easy? No. Would I be surprised if the Nuggets win the series? No, because I simply said if the Nuggets get good enough production from anyone not named Jokic, they can win this series. Um, just go to the Nuggets stats real quick. Again, Jamal Murray averaged 21 points per game. Michael Jordan averaged 18 points per game. If they average this though, it won't be enough. I'll tell you that right now because the Clippers just have a better team. I feel like the X factor probably Russell Westbrook or Jamal Murray himself. Because if Jamal Murray is obviously playing like playoff Jamal Murray, they're gonna win the series. But I think the X factor might just be Russell Westbrook because I don't see people like MPJ, Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon playing better than what they are. If Russ can play like he was at the start of the season and actually be impactful on the game, not get too many turnovers, play good defense, then the Nuggets have a chance. If they don't, man, if he doesn't, the Nuggets don't have a chance and they'll probably lose in 6 games. Just because the Clippers have a better overall roster, because again, the Nuggets still have the best player in the series. But you have Harden, who's actually been playing good this year. I don't know if he's gonna play good in the playoffs. I feel like people don't talk about that enough. Even though Harden's been playing good all season, he is a notorious playoff dropper. I don't know if he's gonna drop in these playoffs, but we'll see. Norman Powell. I haven't seen Powell play good in the playoffs either. Honestly, Kawhi is great in the playoffs, but you know, I have to see how Kawhi plays, bro, because obviously he's fully healthy, or he seems fully healthy. But if we get like All Star Kawhi, even if you're talking about 2020 Kawhi, the Clippers are dangerous. The Clippers could really make it to the conference finals or something like that. But Kawhi was playing like he was in the 27 games he played, where he's only averaging like 21. They can still beat the Nuggets. I just don't know how far they can go. Um, but that's the whole thing with the Clippers. Three. They've had three reliable players for the second half of the season. Actually, four. We're gonna count Zubac in that. Derrick Jones Jr., even though he's not like anything that you can rely on the offense, he's gonna bring the defense. Bojan has actually been a great pickup that nobody's been talking about. I'm so glad the Clippers got Terrence Mann off the team. Terrence Mann was one of the most overrated players in the league, to be honest. Some people were still treating Terrence Mann like he was good, and he's not. Um, Amari Coffee is different. Oh my God, Amari Coffee is decent. He can shoot a little bit, play a little bit of defense. Pretty much it. Uh, Again, Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn is not gonna make an all defensive team, but if it was an all defensive like third team, he could have made that. You know. Um, yeah, that's really all the Clippers need. They don't have a backup center, which might actually play a big part in the series. Because obviously, I don't see Zubac playing above 32 minutes a game or above what he played in the regular season, honestly. So maybe if the Nuggets coach, I don't know the Nuggets coach name, takes advantage of the non-Zubac minutes and Jokic tears that apart, the Nuggets can have even more of a chance. But we just seen Jokic average a 30-point triple double pretty much, and it's not like they were like the one seed or anything. So I don't know. We'll see. Let me know who y'all got down in the comments. I got Clippers in 6, and I'm in the video right there.